Y'all, I had a video planned already for this week. By the time you're watching this, that video's probably already out. I was gonna do this. I was gonna make more than one in 1 week. But duty calls, okay? Everyone on the planet has decided to drop their horror projects at the same exact time, whether that be Dr. Nowhere or Neon Pictures or now Thorn Baker. Had to go do it to him. If y'all are new, hello, my name is glitchwish.jpg. I make videos about internet horror, analog horror, digital horror, creepypastas, internet urban legends, ARGs, and sometimes survival horror, which usually just means Silent Hill. I should get that spiel printed on a shirt that only I would wear. Regardless, what are we doing today? We're doing a little bit of digital horror, baby. I don't know if he's calling it digital horror, but I'm calling it digital horror. If you want to come punch me in the face for saying that, Thorn Baker, I welcome it. Come on. Come at me. Anyway, who's Thorn Baker? If you've been on this goddamn channel before, you know who Thorn Baker is. Thorn Baker is a man of many talents. He is a musician, an animator, a game designer, an actor, an illustrator. I probably missed something, to be perfectly honest. The analog horror community probably knows him most for his contributions to the Mandela catalog. He plays Lieutenant Thatcher Davis, and he has done a lot of the animations. Pretty much anytime there is CG animation, Mr. Baker is responsible. So, love that. That was how I was first introduced to him, was through the Mandela Catalog Volume 3. He got involved with the Mandela Catalog because his indie game, Maple County, which was like a Mandela fan game, popped the hell off. You know, Markiplier was playing it and shit, so then he and Alex Kister started talking, and the rest is history. Now, he is also a signed musician under the name Teenage Disaster. I'm a huge fan. I found him through Mandela Catalog, but I stayed for everything else, frankly. I love his music. Teenage Disaster was my #1 play artist on Spotify last year. I think he's neat, frankly. I like everything he does. I think he's silly, funny, scary, all that stuff. But I do really love his visual language. I think it's unique. I think that we don't always see styles within 3D animation. It's happening a lot more now, which is awesome. Love to see it, but especially within internet horror, rarely do you see CG at all. You have people like the incredible Harmony and Horror. It's a great series, and that has a very specific visual language, but nobody makes creepy faces like Thorn Baker does, okay? And what do we know here on glitchwitch.jpg? If you want to have a really compelling piece of internet horror media, you need a spooky ass face. It's the law. I'm riffing, can you tell? I watched this an hour ago and then was like, I have to film this. So why? Yes, why am I here? What's going on? What did you do this time? Yesterday, Thorne posted on his Instagram story that he was dropping a short horror film at night yesterday. I missed it because I went to bed. I think he's on the West Coast, I'm on the East Coast, and I'm a grandma, so I went to sleep when it premiered. But I woke up, I had my breakfast of scrambled eggs and a Food Lion donut, and I sat my ass down and I listened, and more like watched because there's not a lot of audio, to his short horror film, The Sleepwalker Experiment. I am going to classify this as digital horror simply because that makes my life easier, but yes, it's a short film. And y'all, I wouldn't have dropped everything to ramble if it wasn't so good. And I knew it. There are certain people where I am just confident in their abilities and I'm like, yeah, of course it's good. Why are you're surprised? Dumbass, of course it's good. Like with Dr. Nowhere, it's gonna be good. Thorn Baker, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. He is, to me, always the best part of every project he's in. Straight up, I'm sorry if this upsets anyone. I don't think the Mandela Catalog would be where it was without him. I've said that before. I don't know why I'm acting like that's a crazy thing that I've never said before. So to see him make a film like this on his own And ooh, it scared me. There's levels of fear for me. Very specific things actually scared me. Like, gore and stuff doesn't really faze me because I had my Serbian film Salo Cannibal Holocaust phase, like many of us in horror did, and I love all three of those movies. Like, I'm not trying to act like I'm better than them. I am absolutely not. But that has made my level of like, for gore, gone. For me, true horror is like, and I've talked about this before, it's the waiting, it's knowing that something's coming, and sometimes you don't even ever see it, but ooh, the tension, the buildup. That's why Skinamarink is like the scariest to me. If a movie makes me go, or movie, horror, whatever, and if a horror thing makes me go to defend myself when there's just a black screen, that means I'm scared. This scared me deeply, deeply. It is about a student who is conducting a brain experiment on dreams and sleeping. This has been done even within analog horror. It's not breaking crazy new grounds. However, the presentation I was delighted by. So I'm gonna do the thing I don't like to do. We're gonna watch it together. I feel bad. I feel bad taking views away from someone who deserves them. So please go watch it by yourself first. I get it. If you're scared, and you should be, I'll hold your hand and we can watch it together, but then go. It's 4 minutes and 43 seconds. Go watch it on his channel. Go subscribe to him. Go stream him on Spotify, bitch. Something. Support Mr. Baker. Okay, let's watch it together and then we'll discuss it. Frankly, I'm looking at it right now. It has 1.2 thousand views. That's bullshit. Bullshit. It should have way more. I hope by the time that I put this out, it's popped off. But let's go. I'm stalling because I don't want to watch it again. Freaked me out. Okay, let's watch it.
My name is Troy Weber. I'm a college student in Southern California. I'm extremely proficient in programming and engineering. And I believe I have achieved the impossible. I have created a program that is able to record dreams and relay information with minimal latency. With the proper equipment, images can be rendered as well. I will be conducting these experiments on myself and recording my progress from my own personal notes. in my room. I'm scared if I move, it'll chase me down the hall. I don't know what to do. I don't want to look at it anymore. But if I close my eyes, it'll come closer. I've never been so afraid.
That was like formulated to freak me out specifically. It's the Skinamarink school of like delayed gratification, and then the thing happens and it's so much worse than you thought it was gonna be. That face, that diva's winning something. I don't know. That's one of the most uncomfortable. It's the uncanny. Like, we haven't seen a analog horror spooky face that uncomfortably uncanny in a long time. Terrifying. What do I like about this? Every single moment of it. No, seriously. First of all, I think the presentation of the horror, that you don't hear or really see half this stuff, that it's all presented on the beautiful Windows XP screen, and it's describing the audio. Because the way that Troy's experiment has been set up, he doesn't have the technology or the equipment to actually record the audio. He's not there yet, so it's just being described. Genius, because A, makes it easier for you as a filmmaker. B, it's scary. Reading male sobbing or sprinting, you have to think for a second, and then by the time that your brain has caught up, like, the next horrible thing's coming. So I think that's very smart. I think that's very smart storytelling and effective way to scare your viewer without just a jump scare. Because horror, we all know, jump scares are played out at this point. So this is really effective tension building. I live. Also, just from a technical standpoint, it looks great. The audio is really good. Bro knows how to voice act. We know this. We been knew that. But great vocal performance in the beginning and at the end. You can feel the fear and the crunchy audio. I love it. In my Joaquin Bong Polished Mercury video, I talked about typography. We got some fun, fresh, funky, just a sans serif. Thank you for not using BCROS mono. Yes, I will use it in this video. I am an analysis channel, though, not a actual filmmaker, so it's okay. And that's not me knocking everyone that uses VCR OS mono. It's just when it's used unnecessarily. Wouldn't make sense in this. This is digital. This is on the computer. You know? Stuff like in the McKinney Family Home videos totally makes sense to use VCR OS mono. It doesn't feel weird. I liked the typography. It was simple. I liked how it was like blurred on the edges a little bit. I'm always going to talk about typography now because I want to be known as that bitch that always brings up typography. But the screen setup, I just love it. I love it. I don't know what else to say. That face is so deeply upsetting to me. I knew it was coming and I just didn't want to look at it. You probably saw me go like this. I hate it. I'm going to dream about that. And I think dream stuff really upsets me because, and I think that's why Skinamarink is such an effective film for me as well, because like, it's the idea of like, it's not like a normal monster, like it's just a lady, but her face is weird and not quite formed correctly. Like the recurring nightmare that I've only ever had is just that my grandma's house had an extra room in it that's never there, but I had it like 3 times and the room was exactly the same. I've never seen that room in my life for real. So like that's why I've talked about I have house problems. Like I'm scared of house stuff like House of Leaves and Skinamarink and all that. But anything to do with like weird dreams and like, I don't know. I've to my knowledge I've never sleepwalked, but I've had like mild sleep paralysis and stuff, and it's just weird. Like I've never seen the Hat Man or anything like that, but I literally like couldn't move. And it's just, I don't know. I think it's a smart thing to you know, it's something that we all experience is some form of nightmares. That's why, like, Kyle Edward Ball's YouTube channel, when he was still doing that, the Bite-Sized Nightmares, was so smart, because he was literally taking viewer submissions and making them into films, and then through that, he took all the common ones and made Skinamarink. Like, it's genius. I know I keep bringing up Skinamarink, but this, you know, this is in the Skinamarink genre of I'm uncomfortable horror. But I do want to go through and I want to read all of the things that are said in the audio logs, because I think that's important. I owe you that much, at least. So the first one we see, let me just grab the old pewter over here and just take a look. You can see all my stickers from college. The first one is, did you finish his paper? And I don't know. We find out that there's a female, a male, and the female refers to the male as James at one point, which is clearly not Troy, our main character. So I'm not sure who James is. Part of me is wondering if if Troy is writing a paper for James, just because, not to go into stereotypes, but if Troy's an expert at programming and all that shit, like he said, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if he's making some dough to fund this stuff by writing jock papers, you know what I mean? And then it says, not yet, female speaking, audio, how do you say that? Female laughing, male and female laughing, audio, when would we? Audio, I wish blank were different now. And we have one of the males there. Male speaking. It's a long walk. We need to go soon. So this all feels very normal. And then footsteps. Footsteps. Aren't you afraid of that? Of what? Oh. So I assume this is our creature. I don't like looking at it. Just don't let it move. So based on how Troy reacts at the end, I assume that if you look away, though, it moves. So they say, I just don't like looking at it. Just don't let it move. I feel like it's one of those things, like the damn Doctor Who Weeping Angels. You have to look at it, or it's going to get closer to you. We don't know. Is it going to attack? I don't know what it's going to do. I really can't do this right now, James. So again, I don't know who James is. I'm a little stumped there. Sprinting. We're here, see you in class. Okay, so then he says it cuts off. So, like, I like that it feels dreamlike in that, like, it's really scary and there's something they don't want to look at and they have to run, but then they're like, oh, we're here, see you in class tomorrow, bye. That's very dream-like, where you know, think crazy things happen, but then in the dream you're just like, whatever, bye. That's it, we're done. So I like that. And then he says that it cuts off before something important happens, which I assume is the creature, the diva appearing. And then he says that he saw this image that got erased and he didn't like it. He doesn't ever, again, I don't ever want to see this again. So then we cut back to more of the log. There's audio of walking, wood creaking. And again, this is my house shit. I am so freaked out by creepy house stuff. And not like haunted house, but like the house working against you. It freaks me out. That's like such a... So I don't like this at all, because it clearly is inside the house, whereas before it sounded like it was outside. Male speaking, I know it's here. Again, I assume that's our diva. Don't make me look. For me, I don't know. It seems like a hybrid of like the Doctor Who Weeping Angel thing, where you have to look at it or it'll attack you, but also like a Blair Witch. If you look at it, you're threatened then. So I think it's the idea of maybe like once you look at it, you can't look away. Which is interesting. And like, where are you gonna go? If it's in your dream, you're kind of stuck. You can't avoid it. And the audio cuts back to screaming. The face shows up, which again, this face and this Like, it's like a disembodied head. Like, it's not even like a full body. Like, her head in that hallway, it doesn't make sense. Like, it's just floating, which again, dream logic of just, it reminds me of the head in LSD Dream Emulator. And again, another game that plays on how absurd and weird and freaky dreams can be, and just nonsensical. So this feels very that. You guys know that. I'll put the faces next to each other. You can see they might be related. Forgive me if it's not a woman, by the way. I just oh god, I hate it. It looks like a flesh mask. Ugh. And then there's just nothing in the output because she left. There's nothing in the dream because she has entered our realm and is messing with old Troy, which I think that could play into like the idea of sleep paralysis, of your dream leaving what you think is a dream. You're technically still dreaming, like you're not fully lucid and awake when you have sleep paralysis. So it could just be that idea. He could not actually be in actually any real danger. It could just be waking up from that sleep paralysis and seeing that you know, critter in your room. Because I know some people, like I said, I've had sleep paralysis before. I've never seen anything. I just was literally unable to move. So, but I know some people say they see, and I was joking about the Hat Man, but some people do see like shadowy figures and things like that. So it could be as simple as that. He could be fine. She could not be an actual threat. Or, you know, the amount of like energy and time you put into these experiments could have made her corporeal in the real world, you know what I mean? So it's very interesting. But I do like the idea that like when she comes into his room, the output, both the audio and the render, are black because she's here now. And again, apologies for gendering the creature. It looks feminine to me though. I wanted to kind of, not frame by frame, I don't think there's frame by frame things in this, but I just wanted to break it down. I know sometimes people don't like pausing themselves to read or if it goes too fast, things like that. So I just wanted to give that little extra something. I think that Troy tapped into something he shouldn't have tapped into, and now his sleep paralysis demon is his roommate. Good luck, bud. I don't think we're gonna get a sequel because I think she's gonna eat him. I just loved this. So I'm gonna make a quick little video sharing it with everyone, and I know that some people genuinely might be too scared to watch it by themselves, so I wanted to be that you know, bitch cringing in the corner going like this so that you weren't alone. But please go watch this on his channel, follow him on Instagram, follow him on Twitter, listen to his music, play his indie games, support the dude, because I think he's one of the most talented, you know, internet era creators we have, artists we have. I've called him like the internet renaissance man before because I believe it. He can really do everything. So I hope he keeps making films like this. You know, obviously it's great that he works on Mandela catalog and stuff, but I would love to keep seeing his own stuff. He does all his music videos, pretty much all of his music videos. So if you want to see more of his animation and stuff, check out some of the Teenage Disaster music videos. Thank you for watching. I have memberships available, 3 tiers. Thank you to my existing members. In Survival Horror Emo, we have E-Rob and Odini. And then in Analog Horror Scary Face, we have Kira Coffer. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye. Try not to let your nightmare creatures come into your room. Don't do science. Don't major in STEM like Troy.